Hi, everybody. Happy Friday or whatever it is that you are listening to this episode. I hope wherever you are having the day that you need. And I hope that of all things, it's fulfilling. I have been very hyper-focused on that recently, just being very aligned with what makes my soul sing and what makes me happy and doing more of that and doing less of what makes me feel like shit. So I hope wherever you are doing the same. I cannot stop thinking about that interview with Angela earlier this week and how she talked about how if more people in this world were living in a way that was like aligned, right? Like synergistically aligned in their purpose, they were doing exactly what they were put here to do by whoever you believe put you here to do it. Like obviously Angela is a woman of extreme faith and it's something I really, really respect and honor in her. And although I am not religious, I am very spiritual. And I do believe that like we have a purpose on this human experience that we are currently having. And when she said that, it just got me thinking of, gosh, like imagine that. Imagine if every person we knew was aligned in their purpose and they were doing exactly what they were put here to do without worrying about what other people think about it, without being self-conscious about failing, without worrying that it was never going to come to fruition. If everybody was just going for it and doing exactly what they were put here to do, imagine what the world would look like, right? Like imagine how much more peaceful we would be, how much happier we would be, how much we would relate to one another. Gosh, it would just be a dream. And I just hope for that someday. I think it's a pipe dream to expect that everybody would know that. But I think if you're listening to this and you're kind of in that place of like, what am I put here to do? What is my purpose? Start to write things down. What makes you happy? When do you feel you're most authentic? When do you feel the most at peace with yourself, right? Like if time wasn't an issue, if money wasn't an issue, if fear of judgment wasn't an issue, if fear in general wasn't an issue, what would you be doing? What makes you happy? And once you write that down, that's it. That's what you have to chase. Like whatever, and who knows how that will manifest, but you have to chase that. You know, I obviously wear many caps. I've had lots of jobs. I've had lots of careers. I run a business. I teach at Soul. I'm doing this podcast. I'm a mom. There's all these different things that I am interested in. But what it really comes down to, right, is I am put here to motivate. I am put here to help people become the best version of themselves. And that is my mission. And nothing gets in the way of that, even when it sucks, even when I feel that like that tension buildup of, I know there are people not agreeing with me. I know that people think this is crazy. I know that people are not on board. And like Angela said, none of that matters because when you are aligned synergistically, right? I think back to the episode we did with Sandy and Wade when we talked about synergy. And when we are synergistically aligned in our purpose of why we are here, nothing else will matter. And if more people do that, and like even if they don't agree with you doing that, by you doing that and not taking no for an answer and being so sure about your vision for your life, that is only going to inspire other people to do the same thing, right? We cannot search outward for what we're looking for. We have to look inward, and it has to come from us, and it has to come from a place of honesty and really brutal, radical honesty, right? There are times I went to school for theater and dance, and I was going to dance professionally for the rest of my life. But you know what? At the end of the day, that no longer made me happy. And that was a pill I had to swallow. And do I still love to dance? You bet your ass. I still love to dance. However, the idea of like selling myself for jobs that I didn't care about was not me in alignment. What is me in alignment is getting to do what I'm doing today. And that's motivating in so many different platforms, in so many different spaces, and encouraging people to dive deep into themselves. So I can say that if you are listening to this and you're wondering what your purpose is, you already know, right? You don't need to search outward for that. You already know what your purpose is. It's in you. It's been in you the whole time. It's been there just waiting to come out like a freaking lion, right? So like unleash the beast and like put it out there. Don't be afraid of it. And even if you are afraid of it, let it come out anyway. Let it come out in such a way that it's like the floodgates are open and there is no pulling it back, because I guarantee you, when you start to live like that, a passionate life of purpose, woo, people may have things to say about it, but they won't forever. Because when somebody sees an aligned person, think about it. Think about people maybe that like you've judged or you've kind of gone, like, what are they doing? Eventually it makes sense because you see that that person is aligned, and then you stop going, what are they doing? And you start going, I need that. That's what I want in my life. So I really, really urge you to write down what makes you happy without all of the extras, right? The most acoustic way that you can be happy. What is that? Write it down. And then from this moment on, spend every moment trying to figure out how to do that in as many places and as many spaces, on as many platforms and as many communities as possible. Because if you're doing that, it will feel right, not just to you, but to everybody. And then you're vibrating on a higher frequency. And that's like a whole other conversation, because obviously purpose and alignment and synergy are the highest, some of the highest vibrating frequencies we have. So I just am so grateful for Angela for bringing that up, because I think too often we stop doing what it is that we are put here to do because we are afraid of what others might think, or we are too busy being trapped in a box that we didn't ask to be put in. I don't know. Get out of the box. You don't have to apologize for leaving the box that you didn't ask to be put in the first place. You just don't. You can leave that box whenever you want, because it is not your fault that somebody else put you in a box. That's not on you. Like Angela said, that's not even your box. It doesn't even have your name in it. So get out of that box and just start reaching for like your life of purpose, whatever that means, right? How can you do that? I hope that this week's episodes were helpful for you, because they were insanely helpful for me. And I learned a lot about myself this week, and I hope that you did too. We will see you next week for our interview with a good friend of mine named Ariella Storia, who is a poet. She is a writer. She is a speaker. She is a dreamer. She's a creative. She's incredible, and you're going to love her. So I hope that you tune in next week to hear that. Have a beautiful day.